Hey everyone, guess what I did today? I was invited to participate in my very first podcast. A good friend of mine, who is a fellow coach, has a podcast, and she asked because she could interview me. So I got to spend time with her this morning and tell my story. And some of you all may think that's not such a big deal as a podcast, but if you knew my journey, it is a big deal. See, her podcast is going to be, of course, available on iTunes and Spotify, but she also taped it as far as videotaped it, and it's going to go on YouTube. So it has the potential of going around the globe. And for someone who had a fear of public speaking, it was a really significant day for me. When I was younger, when you're impressionable, actually you can be impressionable at any age, but there was a teacher who I really admired, and she told me that I couldn't speak and represent the class in an event because I would embarrass them. There are times that sometimes I'll get tongue-tied and stumble over my words, and when she said that, I says, wow, this teacher said this, so she really cares about me, so she must know what she's talking about, and it means it must be true. As we all know, that's not true. Adults say things to children all the time that aren't true. But it took me till I got in my 20s that I realized that, yes, I can speak in public, and there's nothing to be fearful of. See, prior to that, after she told me that I couldn't speak in class, and up until I was in my 20s, I would get terrified of having to speak in public. Speech classes would cause me to have heart palpitations and just be really jittery and nervous because I felt that I couldn't. I would be a failure. And it prevented me from doing a lot of things when I was in school. I had friends that tried out for speech and debate. It always seemed like fun because on a one-on-one situation, I can argue you down like there's no one's business, and I can also prove my point. But put me in a larger group, and I was nervous about that. So when I realized in my 20s I had a teacher who says, you know what, you're an excellent speaker. I'm like, really? She goes, yeah, well, why would you think that you're not? And she says, when you're giving a speech, you have to make sure that you have your main idea, your points to back it up, and a conclusion. And that's just for a basic speech. And if you all have taken speech classes, there's different types of speeches, persuasive and things of that nature. So for that little girl who was I won't say how old I was because there are people who I went to grade school with, and I don't want them to narrow down a teacher. I don't want to, cast a teacher in a negative light. But to do that today was something that really meant a lot to me. And once, when I was in my 20s, I realized that I could speak in public. I did it more often to the point that in one of my positions, it was not unusual for me to give a presentation 5 to 10 times a week, to the point I could just give it in my sleep, so to speak. And I really enjoyed talking to the students one-on-one in the classroom. So to go to this level, and actually even what I'm doing right now, being on social media, this video can be shared, and I can't control who sees it. But you know what? It's okay, because I've gotten over that fear, and I can do that now. So what are you fearful of? What's holding you back? I challenge you, after you watch this video, think about something that you can do that will help you overcome one of those fears. And as they say with the acronym FEAR, stands for false evidence appearing real. So I dare you. Think about something that scares you, and then do it, and do it afraid.